True. It is deserved. That's what, that's what you get. But also, not really. It's now evening. I'm preparing tonight's dinner, and also while I'm at it, taking the time to teach Kana how to cook.
なるほどなるほど。勉強になります。
She's diligently jotting down notes of the techniques I'm explaining to her.
すごいですね、ユーマさん。お料理がお上手なんですね。
Not really. I can cook about as decently as the average person. Definitely not good enough to be called a chef or anything.
そんなことないですよ。私だったら心当たりで3回はお皿を割っちゃってそうです。
That's probably because you can't see. I'm not sure breaking plates is related to a person's cooking ability. Curry's on the menu tonight. I'm really hoping I can help Kana improve enough to the point where she can make simple dishes like this. If she's going to be living here from now on, she'll need to, so she doesn't poison everyone when she tries to cook herself. Alright. Now all we gotta do is let it simmer and wait. I reduced the heat level of the stove plate to low. Now that it's more or less ready, I guess I'll go call everyone.
それなら私もご一緒してもいいですか？
Feel free.
やった！
A small fist pump coupled with a smile of joy. You do know all I'm doing is going door to door and telling people to come to the dining room.
それでもいいんです。
Okay. Well, if you say so. So whose room should I go to first? Ah. I suddenly remember. Have to think of it.
何がそういえば何ですか？
I just recalled the manager mentioning to me about a week or so ago that a new resident moved in. Interesting.
へえ、新人さんですか？
I hope it's a girl. Yep, but remember, to them, you're the new person.
はい、心得ています。それならしっかりと挨拶をしなければいけませんよね。
Respect is important, doubly so when it comes to someone you'll be living with. Back to the initial question. Who should I visit first? Interesting. Alright. Then I guess I'll go with, well, I guess it doesn't matter. So, you know what? Maybe the new resident. Why not? We've already seen...
新人さん、お留守でしたね。
Oh. As I was gonna say, we already know Suzu, so... Oh, yeah, I guess not. We now stand before the door of 201. 201. They moved in about a month ago, but I haven't gotten a chance to meet them or learn their name yet. I was hoping to do that now, when we came to inform them of dinner. However, several knocks, and the resident is in question never answered or opened the door. I checked and the door was unlocked, though. Seems a bit careless to me. I know that none of the residents living in the dorm are heartless enough to steal, but still.
先輩さんにご挨拶できるかと思って楽しみだったんですが、ちょっと残念です。
The lease contract states that all residents are provided a free dinner every day. I haven't the slightest idea how I, the person who doesn't even live here, became stuck with the task of fixing everyone's dinner, but oh well. He's pretty much always out. I paid room 201 numerous visits before during my rounds to inform everyone that dinner's ready. Maybe they're just busy all the time or something. I've yet to see them once.
管理人さんがおっしゃるには、いつも夜遅くに帰ってらっしゃるみたいです。
Oh, really?
はい。どんな方なのか気になります。
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see that she has a unique enough sprite that it's a potential route that I'll do. She has a potential route, I mean. Well, I'm sure it'll come in due time. When the writers when the writers think it's right. That is, if she isn't purposefully avoiding us. Onto the next room. You ready?
はい。
Okay, whose room should we go to next? Getting pretty late. Better hurry up and get to the remaining rooms. The sealed door, I guess. Okay, so this room is the room that poses the most problems. We're now at room 103. I stand before the door holding a tray and a plate of the curry I made for dinner today placed atop it.
問題点一番のここには誰が住んでらっしゃるんですか？
No clue.
さあって。
I know nothing about them. Never met them either.
知らない？
Yeah. I personally call this place the sealed door. I've been hanging around at this dorm for quite some time now, and I've never set foot in that room, nor even seen the person living inside.
開かずの間ですか？
Yep. But the manager instructed me to put a plate of dinner in front of their door every night. I set the plate full of curry down on the floor, inches from the door. I don't know why he asked me to do it either.
お食事を運ぶくらいですから、この部屋には誰かが住んでらっしゃるのですよね。
Probably, I answered with a nod. I guess they're just exceedingly shy, or they have some other personality quirk that makes them avoid people.
そうなんですか。
Well, I'm basically just throwing out guesses here. I've asked the manager before, but he just gives me vague, non-committal answers, so I have no clue.
なるほど、なるほど。
She nods attentively, but I can see a faint grin on her face. You seem excited.
そうでしょうか。
You to me, at least.
要するにこの部屋は謎だらけの部屋ってことなんですよね。
I guess you could, yeah.
こういうのってすごく楽しいって思います。
Oh, really?
はい。
Her eyes resemble those of a small child at a funhouse.
謎は多ければ多いほど楽しいって思いませんか？
I'm sure you of all people would know about that, huh?
何がですか？
Let's see. I don't know your real name, where you came from, who you are, or you're about as mysterious as it gets. I'm guessing you're doing that to me on purpose because it's fun.
でも嘘は何もついていませんよ。
I'm not sure there's much of a difference between lying and hiding the truth.
それってどういうことですか？
I shake my head. I can't be bothered to explain this to her. But yeah, the door here is almost always locked.
そうなんですか。
Maybe someone hid something in here they don't want anyone to know of. Or maybe even it's just teeming full of those mysteries... full of those mysteries you think is so fun. But whichever it is, I'm not going to pry too deeply. Yeah, like the mystery of why she still doesn't wear glasses, even though she's stated multiple times that she's blind and trips over constantly, except when it's not convenient for her. A millisecond after we turn our backs to the door, we hear a quick creak, slam. We probably turn around. The plate of curry has vanished. It's like magic. So she's one of those people. We both stare at each other wide-eyed.
謎は謎でも、なんだか不気味ですね。
You'll get used to it. Alright, who next? I wonder who would go. There's so many options I could pick. I guess I'll just go with... obviously. You're in there, Suzu-san. Room 202 is where we currently are. I give the door 2 solid knocks, but no reply. Anna.
はい。
She's back already, isn't she?
はい。先ほど廊下で会いました。ユーマさんがお昼を食べているときに。
Okay. When I was standing before the pearly gates. Are you in there? Dinner's ready, so come on out. Yeah, come on out here. Along with my second knocking, I state my business. But as expected, there's no reply. Well, the door's open. You might be reading right now. The sheer level of concentration she exhibits when reading is staggering. It's very possible that my knocks simply didn't reach her ears. I guess I'm coming in. Let's see if we can find her. It is ready, Suzu-san. I made my way inside the room full of books strewn everywhere. But she's nowhere to be found until I look under the pile of books, and she's buried. Hang on, I didn't read that. I made my way in, oh wait, no, I did. I said made because instead of Wade, and then I looked at the text again and I got confused. Oh, there you are. I had a feeling you were reading. He's face deep in what seems to be some sort of technical book. I just hope you aren't reading something too crazy. I don't want to see you make a mess like last time. My attempt at a light jab doesn't net any sort of reaction out of her. Is the book interesting?
そこそこ.
A listless reply. Perhaps this is the opportunity I was looking for to enact my revenge. Nah. As the saying goes, good things come to those who wait, and wait I shall. I'd hate to waste all that curry I made.
何が嫌?
Suddenly, she lifts her head from the pages. She's been brought back from Bookland, it seems. Just talking to myself. Actually, this time. I shake my head.
そうそう、ゆうくん。
What?
今日はとっても面白かったでしょ。
Oh. A complacent smile, if I've ever seen one. I'm sorry, what?
いろいろとさ。
The two immediate responses my head produced is, I'm gonna kill you. Tons of fun, my ass. No, Yuma. Be calm. I can't let my emotions run loose. Yeah. It sure was. Best day I've had in a long time.
でしょ。私ってお茶目さんだよね。
なんなんですかこの部屋は。すごいです。本がいっぱいです。
Anna is busy eyeing the room in pure awe and admiration.
こんなにたくさんの本、一体どこから買ってくるんですか？
主にネット通販だね。外出とかめんどくさいし。
I'm sure you'd be a great mentor to all the kids out there aiming to be unproductive members of society when they grow up.
なんだよそれ。微妙に言語が崩壊してない？
Did you? It wasn't my intention to sound that way.
労力は最小限に抑えなくちゃ。
Save it for what? Uh-huh. He then takes out a laptop and powers it on.
ああ、通販サイトって本当に素敵だよね。これを考えた人は紛れもなく神だよね。
She flips through various pages, clicking the purchase button over and over. Oh no! Your online shopping addiction is why this room keeps getting piled and piled with more books. One day I swear this floor is gonna cave in and all I'll say is I told you so. All I can do is sigh as I watch the total cost number on her screen climb steeper and steeper. I guess the mountains will grow taller the next time I come in here. I don't think I've ever asked you this, but why don't you just move to the vacant room on the first floor? You'd have more space.
それもそうなんだけど、でも
Too much work?
そういうこと。
She grins cheekily.
それはそうと、かなちゃん。服の調子はどう？気に入った？
Oh shit.
素敵な服をありがとうございます。とても気に入りました。
コスプレ衣装なら、ゆうくんの変装用に買ったのがまだまだいっぱいあるから、イメチェンしたくなったらいつでも言ってね。
What?
はい、わかりました。ありがとうございます。
きっとどれもサイズもぴったりだって思うから。
What were you planning to do to me with all those outfits? Cross-dress me? Crossplay? No, thank you.
で、何か用なの？二人とも。
Oh, yeah. Dinner's ready.
おお、ご飯。
Her eyes light up with like a giddy little kid's.
今夜のおかずは何かな？
Or humming some made-up jingle. Today's curry.
いいね。美味しいよね、カレー。それなら、ゆうくん。わかってると思うけど、私のカレーは。
Yeah, I know. I got you covered.
何がですか？
大したことじゃないんだよ。いつもカレーの時は。
Ahem. That's all we needed. I purposefully cut off Suzusan before she has a chance to finish. Come to the dining room whenever you're ready.
了解。
After responding, she dives back into her book.
この本読み終わったら行くね。
Right. The two of us then leave her book-infested room. Now just the manager. I watch my step as I descend down the stairs leading to the basement.
そうですね。でもどこへ行くんですか？どうして地下へ？
He wasn't in the manager's office, so I'm assuming he's doing something over there.
あちら側
Right. Talked to him before, haven't you?
はい、お話しさせていただきました。最初の夜にちょこっとだけですけど。
I see.
でも本当にちょっとだけです。まだあんまりちゃんとしたお話はできていないんですけど。
Stairs creak with each step we make in the sea of darkness. Kana proceeds slowly and with caution, keeping a firm grip on my sleeve.
だけど管理人さん、とても優しい人で安心しました。話しやすくてほっとしました。
That's good. Finally, we set foot on the basement floor.
あれ？ここは物置ですか？
I walk up and open the door to the old wall clock.
ユーマさん、管理人さんに会いに行くんじゃないんですか？
Yeah, we are. We're going where he currently is. I just need to do a few things down here in order to take us there.
準備ですか？
Before we do that, however, I need to tell you something.
はい。
What I'm about to tell you is going to sound absolutely absurd, but I promise you it's the truth. I turn around to face her. Might not make any sense to you. Heck, you might not even want to believe it. That's fine. All I want you to do is listen.
はい。
The basement is this dormitory serves as a portal to a number of parallel worlds.
異世界？
Isekai, yes. Right. Giving you some long-winded explanation on all the specific details would be incredibly tedious. So I'll just let you see it with your own eyes. That's essentially the fastest way for me to teach you. Take it with the hands of the wall clock. The one he always goes to is 2 o'clock 45 minutes, right?
そうだな。それが正解。
Alright, here we go. Try not to get lost over there, okay? I grab her hand and swing open the door to the storeroom. Ah, my eyes.
これは。
Kana's immediately entranced by the sight awaiting her.
すごい。ですね。
She's wide-eyed, mouth agape. Her eyes dart around impatiently as she takes in all the marvelous scenery of this otherworldly town. But honestly, that's all you have to say?
何がですか？
She stares at me with a puzzled look. I don't know. Her reaction just struck me as a tad odd. The expression on her face wasn't quite what I pictured. I thought for sure she'd be more awestruck and overwhelmed. To be quite frank, it's a bit of a letdown. I guess you could say I wanted to surprise Kana. I wanted to hear her shout out, "Wow," in wonderment and glee. Somewhat like how magicians want to elicit huge reactions out of their audiences when they perform a new trick for the first time. Basically, the point being, I wanted to catch her off guard. Of course, however, I have to remember that people will react to things in vastly different ways. I guess I can't really complain about Suzu-san wanting to play pranks on me when I'm like this too. Even though I earlier told her I'd let the sites do the explanation, I decided to give her a brief overview of everything I think she should know. This place is called the Merchant Town. It's a town inhabited by non-human beings.
商人の町。
Right. All those things you see being sold by street vendors are rare, mysterious items. Things humans are incapable of making. Things you won't find in the human world, and so on and so forth. They sell special items like that, and cheap too.
特別なもの？
Sweet beer jelly that can fill you up in a single bite. Swords that cut bonds between people. I could go on forever. But yeah, that's essentially what you can expect to find here. Items that, from our perspective as humans, possess mysterious powers that are rare enough to be considered treasures.
なるほど。面白いですね。地下室からここへ来られるんですか？
For the most part, yeah. The basement allows us to travel to all sorts of foreign worlds that are distinctly different from our own, like this one. She's quietly taking in the scenery around her. If we set the wall clock to 2 o'clock and 45 minutes, we can connect it to the merchant town in this world. You can think of the clock as something like the key that opens the door to this world. Not only to this world, but to an infinite number of others through different combinations of a minute, hour, and second hands. Of the minute, hour, and second hands. Okay, well, then it's not infinite. It's however many seconds there are in 12 hours. I haven't yet tried all the various combinations. Yeah, it'd take a lifetime to get through them. That's only natural. The number of possibilities is too high to count. But I firmly believe that there is a combination among the seemingly infinite number of them that will lead me to the location I keep seeing in my dream. It has to be out there, somewhere. That place is waiting for me. The place where feathers fall and a voice pleads for me to save them.
ユーマさん？
Oh, sorry. Just thinking about something that's been weighing on my mind a bit recently. But anyway, I say before we get sidetracked. I've been told that this world has so many unique characteristics in it, so many unique locations, so many that we can't even begin to imagine.
なるほど。そうなんですか。どうかしましたか？
No, I'm just a little baffled, I guess you'd say.
あれ？あれとは何ですか？
You don't seem too surprised about all this. I figured act more shocked seeing a place like this. Kind of like a, wow, this can't be real reaction, you know? A desire to see that sort of reaction from her is, needless to say, to feed my own self-satisfaction. I can't tell that what initial impulse spawned that desire from within me, or where it's disappeared off to. Basically, it's like my grand plan was turned on its head. I'm the one surprised, not you.
それは、
She seems to be avoiding making eye contact with me, almost as if she feels guilty.
そんなことはありませんよ。驚いてます、私。とても、とっても。
Okay, well, really?
はい。すごく眩しくて、綺麗な場所ですね、ここは。
She allows her gaze to wander over her surroundings.
食べ物もいっぱいあって、いい匂いがして、なんだか私、お腹が空いてきました。
She puts on a smile for me. Oh, well, it's not a big deal. Best not to give it too much thought. She was visibly uncomfortable when I brought it up, so I'd rather not badger her about it. Want to grab something to eat? I know you've got dinner waiting at the dorm, back at the dorm, but a light snack shouldn't hurt.
はい、ありがとうございます。そうしましょう。
She brings her hands together near her chest with a bright smile. That smile is quick to fade. What's wrong?
いえ、そういえば私、お金を持っていなくて。
That's fine. It's my idea, so I'll pay. A light snack won't bust my wallet much. Also, you wouldn't have been able to pay anyway because this world uses a different currency than ours. I reach into my pocket and pull out my wallet to make sure I actually brought some with me when I hear a voice.
お兄ちゃん
Who? Shouting voice. The moment I turn to in its direction, it hits me, literally. Ah! Something small just slammed into a very vital area located on my lower body. Ah, my balls! Ah, my balls! Are there even words in the dictionary that can accurately describe this level of trauma-inducing pain?
お兄ちゃん
No. Ren? I somehow managed to look up and there I see a little girl with fox ears and a tail.
どうしたの大丈夫
My balls exploded, so I should be fine. She's apparently worried about me.
痛いのごめんなさい。
Can't get upset with her, even if I possibly wanted to. Totteringly, I stand up. I'm okay. All good.
ユーマさん、この子は。
Hearing Kana's voice, Ren flinches. Her hair standing on end and quickly runs behind my back to hide.
わあ、耳が頭の上に耳が生えてます。それにふさふさの尻尾まで。すごいかわいい。
She's a kimono Mimi. Yeah, this is Ren. She's the daughter of this town's diviner. And as you can see, she's not human like us. Slightly frustrated and still fighting off the lingering pain from the ballistic assault in my groin area, I managed to... Yeah, the ballistic never mind. The ballistic assault. I managed to reply.
そうですか。レンちゃんですか。私はカナちゃんです。南カナ。 います。よろしくお願いしますね。
You're not surprised or anything? She's not human? She's not human. I'm once again astounded by her amazing adaptability.
それは
She falters with her reply.
この街はそこら辺にそれらしい人たちで溢れてるじゃないですか。もうそこに驚くのは十分済ませましたよ。それに私慣れることには自信がありますから。
Sure, Kana. Oh, do you?
そんなこんなでレンちゃんよろしくお願いしますね。
No. Kana stretches out her hand for a handshake, but Ren is still cowering behind my back.
私嫌われちゃってるのでしょうか。
Yeah, Ren's a little bad with strangers. Oh, well, she's just shy in general. Cute. Ren is glaring suspiciously at Kana, almost like a watchdog. Where's your mum at, Ren? Is she not with you? Word mum sets off some sort of trigger, and Ren frowns. Then tears start pouring out of her small beady eyes. They don't look small to me. Maybe in the anime world, I guess. Ren?
お兄ちゃん。
What's wrong?
お母さんがね、帰ってこないの。
She grabs my pants and starts wiping off her runny nose on them. Your mom didn't come home today?
今日はね、お母さんね、朝から占いの仕事にね、行ってるんだけどね。本当は一人でお留守番しなさいって言われたんだけどね。
Yeah, but...
夜になってもお母さん全然帰ってこないの。
The tears continue to fall and wet her cheeks. Alright, so did you leave the house and go search for your mom?
それは大変です。お母さんと入れ違いになってるかもしれませんね。
Yeah, it's a possibility.
ユウマさん、レンちゃんのお母さんを探してあげませんか？
Let me think. This isn't normally something that I would even need to think about. I would want to go ahead and reply, yeah, let's help. But something's been itching at me. Alright, let's split into two groups and look for her.
二手に？
I want you to go with Ren and help her look.
私とレンちゃんでですか？
She grabs the back of my shirt tightly. Ren, you don't need to be afraid of her. I know this big girl here does look kind of out there, but I promise she's not a bad person. We'll be fine with her, okay?
あれって何ですか？あれって。
Well, you're wearing a maid outfit, so, you know, Sorry, Kana, but could you watch over Red for me? There's a little something I need to take care of in the meantime.
用事ですか？
Yeah. Might also incidentally lead us to Ren's mum.
そうなんですか？
I answer her question with a nod.
わかりました。それは構いませんけど、でも私この町には初めて来たのですが。
You shouldn't get lost. This town is relatively small, all things considered.
そうなんですか？
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be back, you two. I'm gonna go search for the manager. Finding him will make finding Ren's mom much easier. As the saying goes, killing two birds with one stone. Why will it, you ask? Well, that's because the manager is able to find just about anything you ask him to.
それならこうしてわざわざ二手に分かれたりするよりも全員で管理人のところへ行った方が効率が良くないか？
Because it's funny. See what you're saying, Shinku. But there's something I want to talk with Shigure-san about in private. And the sooner the better. Take care of Ren for me, Kana.
はい、了解いたしました。それもレンちゃんさえ良ければですけれど。
Would you be willing to stay with her for me, Ren? Ren's still clinging to my back. Looks up at me with anxious eyes.
わかった。
But she ultimately nods and agrees to do as I said.
お兄ちゃんが言うならそうする。
Thanks, Ren. I gently rub her head as she snuggles her tiny body up against me, her eyes narrowed in delight. Alright, see you soon. Thereafter, I make my way toward a back alley in search of the manager. This should be it. I went around asking the various townspeople walking the streets if they knew where he was, and from what I gathered, he'd be the gambling. He's at the gambling house currently. I'm not big on these sorts of places, personally, but I gotta go in if I want to find them. If I want to find him. I wade through the hall crowded with gamblers and proceed up to the second floor. Like reeks of liquor. That coupled with the pungent smell of tobacco smoke.
あれユウマくん
Oh, finally. In the center of the suffocating stench-filled room, I spy the very person I've been looking for. A slender, middle-aged man wearing a kimono. In summer, with long, unkempt hair, and he's raising his arm while looking in my direction. This man is the manager of Arashiyama Hall, Kirishima Shigure. Hey, Shigure-san. I came to get you since dinner is ready. Are you in the middle of something right now?
いや、全然大丈夫だ。問題ないよ。
I look down and see a shogi board in front of him. A match appears to be underway between him and another guest.
ここにはちょっと夕涼みのついでに遊びに寄っただけだからね。
He stands up with a groan. Then, once on his 2 feet, lets loose a tired yawn reminiscent of a cat.
夕飯か。そういえばお腹が減ったな。メニューは何だい？
Curry, no meat though.
なるほど。肉なしカレーか。うん。健康的でとてもいいじゃないか。さて、それじゃあ帰ろうか。
Huh? We don't have to go yet if you want to stay and finish.
何がだい？
Your shogi match. When you playing against someone over there?
いやいや、新しい寄付がこの町で出ていたのを見つけたんでね。それで詰将棋をやっていたんだ。だから大丈夫だよ。ちょうど暇していたところなんだ。
Oh, okay.
ところでユウマくん、今夜はカレーと言っていたけど。
Don't worry. I didn't use a store-bought sauce. I made the curry powder myself, then stewed all the ingredients in.
僕の好みをよく分かってくれてるね。さすがだよ。
He sticks his hand out and ruffles my hair a bit. Please don't do that. I brush away his hand and walk ahead. But it's weird. I pretend that I hate it when he treats me like a little kid, but it actually feels somewhat pleasant. It always has. By the way, after Shigure-san pays the room fee at the gambling house, we leave and walk down the town streets side by side. Shigure-san, can I ask you about Minami Kana? I broached the subject. That is what I wanted to talk to him about in private. Whenever I come to Arashiyama to visit, there's never a guarantee that Shigure will be there. So if I let this chance slip by, it could be weeks before another one arises.
かな？ああ、昨日来たあの子のことか。あの子がどうかしたのかな？
Oh, no. It's nothing in particular, I've just been wondering I've been wondering why you let her live at the dorm despite not being a student of the school. Was there any reason in particular for that? I can't beat around the bush. It's best to just come right out and say it. I feel slightly wary of Kana. I don't 100% trust her yet. I know nothing of her, but she seems to know everything about me. It's odd, and I don't think it's strange of me to have that reaction. Moreover, Suzusan and I work as liberators. Many of the people we deal with in our world are heinous, twisted people who won't hesitate to exploit others for personal gain. That's exactly why alarm bells were ringing inside my head, telling me to be careful of her. No way I could mention these things to Kana present, nor at the dorm itself. There's too great a possibility that someone will overhear us. That's why I waited for an opportunity like now, where we could talk uninhibited.
君の考えてることは大体はわかるような気がするけれど、あまり大きな理由はないよ。
Really?
彼女は学園の生徒ではない。それなら君の師匠だって違うだろ。でも縁あって昔からあの部屋に住んでいる。いや、寄生していると言った方が的確かな。
He smiles a bit at his slight joke before continuing.
ともかくあの子の話を聞いてみれば行くところがないというからね。それじゃあここにいればいいと僕は答えた。ただそれだけのことだよ。
Yeah.
もしかして不安なのかな。
Bit.
仕事の関係上、君はそれくらいの警戒心があって叱るべきかもしれないけど、だけど君の師匠も何も問題なしと判断したんだ。だから大丈夫だと思うけどね。
Well, no offense to her, but she doesn't know what the word wary even means.
だから君が代わりに考えなくてはいけない。
I guess you could say that. I wanted to reserve judgment until I got your opinion on it.
そうか。大変な師匠を持ったもんだな、君も。
His shoulders heave as he chuckles.
彼女のことはあまり難しく考えなくてもいいんじゃないかって僕はそう思うけどな。悪い子じゃない。それだけで十分なんだよ。僕も夏目くんもね。で、どうなんだい？あの子とはうまくやってるかな？
Fine. Fine at the present moment, I guess.
悪い子じゃないだろ？
Well, yeah.
ともかくあの子をかくまう。いや、しばらくは寮に住まわせるというのは決定事項だ。花があっていいじゃないか。うん、そう思わないか？
I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to make of her, honestly. Get the feeling that he's not telling me the full story. But if you say she's not, then I'll trust your judgment.
信じる？
Not a bad person.
そうだね。ありがとう。
No problem.
もっとユーマは自分の師匠の言うことも信じてあげればいいんじゃないかな。
I do trust her. Really and honestly. A wild, unrestrained personality just gets me on edge sometimes. So I wanted an outsider's perspective before I could fully trust Suzu-san's judgment and Kana herself.
しかしね、こんなことで驚くようじゃ少しばかり先が思いやられてしまうぞ。
ん？
これから忙しくなるからね。
With what?
今ここで教えてしまってもいいのだけれど、それはそれで面白みに欠けるというものだ。
Okay. Fun? You're giving me some bad vibes about all this. I force an awkward smile.
これは本人を前にして口にした方がいいように思えるって、そういうことだよ。そうせくことはない。じきにわかるさ。
Okay. We walked the main street nearly shoulder to shoulder for a short while without exchanging any words. Oh, I forgot to ask you. Have you seen Ren's mom by any chance? The matter with Kana was what I wanted to talk with him about in private. We finished discussing that. Well, his answers were a bit too vague for me to say I'm fully satisfied, but I've decided to trust him in Suzu-san's judgment regarding her for now. which is why it's time to take care of the next matter.
レンのお母さん？
Yes.
ああ、ハクのことか。嫌に遠回しな言い方をするものだからわからなかったよ。そういえば今日はまだ見ていないな。どうかしたのかい？
Well, I ran into Ren earlier, and she was crying, saying her mum wasn't coming home. I figured you might know something.
そうか。なるほど。あの子は泣き虫だからな。
I have Kana staying with her right now. According to Ren, she left this morning for work and hasn't returned since.
悪いけど知らないな。
It's okay. No worries.
大事はないと思うけどね。どれ、一応念のためということで、式を放ってみようか。
He reaches into his sleeve and pulls out a pipe.
街の中を探すというのであれば、ものの5分もかからずに探し出せると思うけどな。
Yeah, let's do that. It definitely wouldn't hurt to know where she is. Ren's pretty upset, so the sooner the better.
わかったよ。ハクを探そう。
He nods, and then immediately thereafter we hear a voice.
管理人さん
Belongs to a woman.
Hmm?
We both turn around at the same time.
どうも管理人さん。うちの子がいなくなったのですが、見かけませんでしたか？
I knew she was looking for Ren.
ああ、ハクか。
Speak of the devil. The person standing there is none other than Ren's mother, Haku, the diviner of the merchant town. Now that she's come to us, we no longer have a need to rely on Shigure's son's seekling.
あの子、レンを探してるのかい？
What a coincidence.
はい、そうなんです。あの子ったら、ちゃんと留守番しているようにってあんなに言ったのに、それなのに仕事を終えて家に帰ってみたらどこにもいなくて。
Well, my prediction was right. She really did leave right before her mom got back.
そうか。レンも君のことを探してるみたいだよ。
そうなんですか？
Yeah, she's with someone I know right now, so don't worry.
そうですか。ありがとうございます。ご迷惑をおかけしてしまったみたいで。
He bows deeply.
ユーマさん？
I turn around and see Kana walking hand in hand with the little fox girl Ren. We were just about to go looking for you.
お母さん？レン！
え？
お母さん！
Ren runs over to her mother and clings to her waist tightly.
一人でお留守番怖かったよ。ごめんなさいね。寂しい思いをさせて。
Cute. Haku strokes Ren's small forehead, running her fingers through her thin hair.
お母さん、あなたにレンにもしものことがあったらって心配で。ごめんなさい。
やれやれ。留守番ごときでこんな騒ぎを起こされちゃたまったものではないな。
Despite his griping, he still has a smile on his face.
自分の子が可愛いのはわかるけど、少し甘やかしすぎじゃないか、ハク。
そうでしょうか。 すみません。
She casts her eyes to the ground, slightly ashamed.
管理人さんにユーマさん、それにそのお連れの方、大変ご迷惑をおかけしました。ことを大げさにしてしまったようで申し訳ありません。
Oh, don't worry about it. It was no trouble for us.
じゃあねレンちゃん、今度また遊びましょうね。うん、じゃあまたねお姉ちゃん。
She waves goodbye to Kana with her tiny hand. The girl is all smiles now. I'm sure she feels much better now that she found her mother.
ああ、そうだ。ハク、よければ君らもユーマくんのカレーを食べに来ないか？
カレーですか？
夕飯だよ。一緒に食べないかい？どうかな、ユーマくん。問題はないかな？
Yeah, that's okay. I made more than enough. I have no idea if it'll suit their palate though.
よし、決まりだな。それでは行こうか、二人とも。
本当に甘えてもよろしいのでしょうか？
ああ、遠慮することはない。時にはこういう日があってもいい。
はい、わかりました。それではお言葉に甘えさせていただこうかと思います。
The diviner Haku deeply bows her head in respect.
よろしくお願いいたします、ユーマさん。
The five of us then depart.
そういえば管理人さん、お聞きになりましたか？
As we're all walking down the street, I overhear a conversation between Haku and Shigure-san.
何を？
隣の隣の、そのまた隣の町でたたりが出たようです。
Whispers to him with graveness in her voice. A fiend?
噂には聞いている。とてもひどいことになってしまったようだね、その町は。
はい、それもその町を荒らしたたたりのその後の行方はようとして知れずということらしいです。
そうか。それは心配だな。
もしもたたりがこの町に流れ着きでもしたらと考えてしまうと。
Whatever the news, it must be quite dismal. They each wear grim looks on their faces. Eventually, we arrive at the outskirts of town where the dimensional gate connecting the student dormitory stands. We'll hope nothing bad happens. Alright. Does everyone have curry? Look across all the faces in the dining room. Today's dinner has turned into a bit of a small party. Luckily, I made extra so the leftovers could feed Suzu-san for lunch tomorrow.
これってなーに？美味しいの？
So cute.
カレーよ、カレー。
So cute.
どうかしたの？今日はなんだか賑やかだけど。
ま、たまにはこういうのも悪くないかなってね。それではいただこうか。
Everyone presses their hands together, says their thanks, then digs in.
ああ、お腹すいた。ああ、そうそう。お茶を取ってこなくちゃ。
Yeah, I'm starving over here too.
ああ、それならついでに僕のもよろしく頼むよ。
めんどくさいな、もう。何？
Huh? Her gaze meets mine. You need something?
今、ゆうくん、私のことじっと見てなかった？
Ridiculous. I quickly shift my eyes to the curry and dig in. Not too bad if I do say so myself. I eat silently, trying my best to act natural and ignore Suzu-san suspiciously eyeing me. I really hope she hasn't found out. I assume she at least sensed that something was off. With her sharp, almost animal-like senses, she keeps staring at me. And then keeps staring at me. Right, yeah. And then
ま、いいけどさ、お茶取ってこよっと。
her interest peters out, and she leaves her seat to head to the kitchen. Phew. That was too close for comfort. Seriously.
ゆうまさん？どうしたんですか？ため息なんてついて。
It's nothing.
そうですか？
Tilts her head curiously.
ほら、麦茶持ってきたよ。
She returns not long after from the kitchen and hands one of the glasses in her hand to Shigure-san.
すっごい冷たいのを持ってきてやったぜ。どうよ、嬉しい？なんだよその目、文句でもあんの？
熱いお茶しか飲まないと決めてるんだ、僕は。
てめえ。
いや、もちろんこれはこれで美味しくいただくけどね。
せっかく持ってきてやったのに、もういい、返せ。
飲まないなんて言ってないだろう。ただちょっとした意思表示のつもりだったんだ。
うるさいよ、返せって言ってるだろ。もうお前なんかに優しくしてやんないから。
She snatches the glass from Shigure-san before he even has time to react.
ひどいな。
改めていただきます。
Presses her hands together. After which, dipping her spoon into the curry and bringing a spoonful of it to her mouth. 1 second passes. Her hands cease moving, and her lips contort into a grimace. The sound of the small fist pump. I did. In the blink of an eye, her face it becomes as red as a lobster. She presses her hand to her mouth and screams out.
なんじゃこりゃちょっとユウくん、これは一体どういうことなんだよ。私用のカレーは甘口でよろしくねっていつも言ってるでしょ。それなのにこれは何？ひどすぎる辛さだよ。
Kana's eyes flicker confusedly.
私のカレーは辛くないですけど。
僕のも普通だ。
She's speechless.
これはひょっとしていじめなの？
It's revenge. What? Of course not. Don't be silly. I rest my spoon on my plate and then stare solemnly into her eyes. You know what this is? I reveal the item I'd been concealing underneath my arm. Oh, I think you know. You know exactly what this is, Suzu-san.
それって
The item being... Yes, the megaphone Kana brought with her to school today. This is what you call some good old-fashioned revenge. A dish best served cold. Or spicy in this case. If someone punches you, you punch back. If someone slights you, you slight them right back. That's one of the rules of our trade. You taught me that yourself, I believe.
ちょっとしたお茶目じゃないか。
I don't want to throw any of that curry away. You hear me? Spicy food is bad, and I made that extra spicy curry especially for you. If you don't eat it, I'll make sure you... I'll never make you dinner ever again, god damn it.
本気？
Oh, you bet.
意地悪。
Bitter tears streaming down her cheeks. She eats spoonful after spoonful of the extra spicy curry.
辛いよ辛いよ。舌が痛いよ。ヒリヒリするよ。
As I continue to watch, I begin to feel a tad bit sorry for her. Maybe I overdid it. Maybe just a wee bit. I'd finally enacted my sweet revenge. But for some reason, it didn't feel all that sweet. There's no joy in making another person suffer. This incident has reminded me of that. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, one bite would have been good enough, but you had to make her eat the whole thing. I mean, like, sure, what Kana did was embarrassing, but like, you didn't suffer that much for it.
ああ、もうひどい目に遭わされたよ。まったく。
Stares daggers at me.
まさか君にこんなひどい仕打ちをされるだなんて。弟子に欺かれるだなんて。晴天の霹靂だよ。
Bolt. The expression you're looking for is a bolt from the blue. As this conversation is taking place, I'm suddenly reminded that 3 days from now, it'll be Monday, which means school. Very much looking forward to that. Who knows how tarnished my reputation will be after this morning's disaster. I vividly recall Mio glowering at me as I left. I don't know how to pronounce that. I just hope there aren't weird rumors circulating at school already.
ああ、うん。学園といえば、ここらで忘れないうちに話しておこうか。
Uh-huh. Figured his son finished with his dinner. Speaks to the rest of us still eating.
ちょっとした発表、というか、報告があるんだ。
What's going on?
新入りの彼女、南かなについてたが。
私ですか？
She points her index finger at her face.
そう、君だ。君は早くて来週より、この寮からユウマくんの通う学校、鈴鹿学園に通うことになるだろう。
Alright, I was waiting for it. That always has to happen, right? What?
どうかな、ユウマくん。忙しくなるっていうのはこういうことなんだけど、少しは驚いてくれたかな？
Right. I don't know if surprised is the right expression. Like,
私の方が驚いているんですけど。
それはそうさ。今初めて口にしたのだから、驚いてもらわなくては困るよ。
Oh. I'm struggling to find the right words. What am I even supposed to say after hearing news like that? I don't know. Just react the same way any other Erica protagonist would be like. Look, at least you aren't finding this out the day she transfers and she walks into your classroom and she's just there, right? Like every other time.
明日にでも、君と一緒に学園に行こうと思ってる。学園長に挨拶と、転入に必要な手続きをしにね。
Cute. Kind of stares at him blankly, head tilted in confusion. It would appear I'm not the only one grasping for words in this situation. Hold on a second. Are you serious about this?
もちろん嘘はない。何か問題でもあるのかな？
I mean, no. It doesn't bother me personally. But why are you doing all of these things for her? You're already acting like her guardian or something. You're almost acting like a guardian or something. It just doesn't seem like the kind of thing you'd do for a girl you met a mere day ago and bear no blood relation to whatsoever. At least, not to my standards or of common sense. Not by my standards of common sense.
君は反対なのかな、ユウマくん。
No, that's not really the point I'm trying to get across. Slowly shake my head as I gaze at the lackadaisical smile of his which never seems to fade. I'm not against the idea of her going to school in general, and I'm not opposed to her living here either. It's just it's not my place to oppose your decision on that matter. But just a bit confused, I guess you might say.
だけど
What's compelling you to do all these things for her?
それはね、ユウマくん。僕は彼女に、ここに置くと言ったからだ。
That's it?
それ以上に何が必要なのかな？
Well, am I really the only one who doesn't see that as a legitimate reason? Who doesn't see that as a legitimate reason?
ともかく、ここに置くと彼女に言ったわけだから、僕は彼女の保護者になったと言ってもいい。そんな彼女に、僕はできる限りのことをしてあげたいと思った。ただそれだけのことなんだ。そこには特別な理由があるわけじゃないんだよ。
Okay.
だから、年若い者の特権として、学生生活を満喫する機会を彼女にも与えてあげようと思ったんだ。
I just can't emphasize. I can't empathize with this man's values. Freewheeling, maybe that's the word you'd use to describe people of his kind. I guess he's somewhat similar to Suzusan in that regard.
私が学校。
いや、だったかな。君が嫌なら、それはそれでいい。強制はしない。君のことをちょっと驚かせたくて、今まで秘密にしていただけなんだ。だから、強制するつもりはまるでない。学校に行くか行かないか選択するのは、あくまでも君だ。嫌なら嫌とはっきり言ってくれれば、それでいいんだよ。どうかな。やっぱり大きなお世話だったろうか。
まさか大きなお世話だなんてそんなこと思いません。とても嬉しい
です。そうか。それはよかった。だ
けど私はここに住まわせていただけるだけで十分以上に幸せなのに、それなのにこんな何から何まで良くしていただいて本当にいいのかなって。
そんなものは気にしなくてもいいんだ。子供は遠慮を知らないくらいが可愛いもんだよ。とにかく、そんなわけだから、ゆうまくん。今週末に二人で必要なものを商店街に買い出しに行ってくれないかな。
You want me to go shopping with her?
学生には制服とかカバンとか、その他もろもろ必要なものが多いからね。この先の生活にも、いろいろと必要なものは尽きないだろうし。ああ、お金のことは心配しなくてもいい。好きなものを買ってくるといいよ。
You said this weekend, so Sunday?
週末二人でお出かけ、そして買い物。これは
What? Her eyes all of a sudden shoot open.
デートだね。そうだよね。
Yeah, sure. A date set up by another person. There are times when I wish she had a mute button. One question.
Hmm?
You not consider that I might already have plans?
何か予定があるのかな。
Well, no. Nothing in particular. It just doesn't feel right having things arbitrarily decided and then shoved on me like this. My input wasn't even a consideration for them.
予定がないならいいじゃないか。1ミリの問題もない。そうだろ？
Alright. I'll do it. But I get the impression that he's perfectly aware of my discontent and asking this anyway. I know he's not doing it to spite me. He's just thinking that with Kana's best interests in mind.
すみません、ユーマさん。
It's fine. You're not really to blame, I guess.
なんだかよくわかりませんが、お手数をおかけします。週末はよろしくお願いいたします。
What is this? All these decisions. being made entirely behind my back. And now they're dragging me into it. It almost feels like there's some invisible thread twined around my body and it's being used to slowly reel me in, making me dizzy. I open Shinku's book and begin to scribe today's entry. A daily ritual necessary for a forgetful person such as myself. Otherwise, I won't be able to retain memories for as long as others. Let's see. Today, Kana arrived at school to bring me my chopsticks. I stopped writing. Great, all done. I shut the book, stand up, and head straight toward my bed. Alright, I've got an early day tomorrow, so I better get some sleep.
おい、ちょっと待て。
My arm is suddenly seized, preventing me from moving any further. What?
今日はカナが学校へお箸を届けにやってきてくれた。そんなのは日記と呼ばない。ただのメモだ。
Shinku, you know I'm bad at writing entries. You also wrote one thing that happened out of the many things that happened.
そういう問題じゃないだろう。これは大切なことなんだ。お前が私の本に日記を書くということは。
Yes. And I know that. I just have a hard time summarizing my day with words, okay?
まったく。しょうがないやつだな、お前は。
She heaves a heavy sigh.
小さな頃からずっと私の本に日記を書いてきてるのに。お前はいつになったら私のサポートなしでまともな日記が書けるようになるんだ？
Beats me.
さあってお前な。とにかくそこに座るんだ。もう一回最初から書くんだ。
Fine. I walk over to the desk and sit myself in the chair again. Oh. Shinku then plops on my lap.
さあ、今日も一緒に日記を書こうか。
Well, I don't really feel that anything of note happened today. That's not the point, Yuma. The point is you meant to write down everything. It's not because it doesn't matter if it's important or not. But notable.
そんなことはないって。今日はあの子が、南かなが学校にやってきた以外にもいろいろあっただろ？
Really?
そうだ。あの子と異界にも行ったし、それからハクとレンとも会った。
Yeah. That did happen, didn't it? I write down the words in Shinku's book as she continuously reminds me of other things. Just like that, I build a picture of today. Everything that I want to tell my future self. Everything that I'm able to recall now.
どうした？手が止まってるぞ。
Could you, move somewhere else, please?
どうして？
Really gonna ask that? Because it's difficult to write with you on my lap.
嫌だ。
Why do you sound so offended?
ここはお前が日記を書くときの私の指定席なんだ。見やすいんだよ、日記の文面が。
And it's cute. That's the other reason. She purses her lips peevishly, then says to me,
なんだよ。文句あるのか？
No, not really. I just feel like any other spot would work just as well.
それは今言ったじゃないか。この体勢が一番いいんだって。ユーマがちゃんと私の言う通り書いているかチェックできるし。
She coughs then points to the page I'm writing on.
文句言わずにちゃっちゃと書け。
Fine. Arguing with her further won't serve any purpose, so I resign myself to my fate and jot down the rest. Alright. That should be good enough. Now it's really time for bed. They wore me out big time. Shinku? For some reason, Shinku isn't budging from her place on my lap. What's wrong?
ユーマ、
Yeah?
ちょっとテストをしようか。
A test? What for?
ユーマが私の本に日記を書かなければならない。その理由は？
That's a random question.
いいから答えろ。私の本に日記を書く。それはとても重要なことなんだ。ずいぶん昔にそう決めたじゃないか。
Yeah, I still remember. At least, I think I do.
それなのにユーマはどこかこの約束事を軽く捉えすぎているような気がする。だから復讐だ。日記を書かなければならない理由、それをちゃんと覚えているかどうかテストをする。
What? Of course I still remember that. Why do we even need to waste our time getting over that? This isn't school.
いいから死のもの言わずにさっさと答えろ。じゃないとここからずっとどいてやらないから。
Fine. I have no way out unless I answer her question, so reluctantly I do so. The sorceress Nikaido Shinku has granted me a power, the power of absolute healing. I use that power in order to fulfill her wish, as well as my own. But that power doesn't come without a price.
その代償は？
My memories are consumed every time I use the power, and my ability to remember things also worsens. Basically, I become terribly forgetful, and the more I use the power, the worse it gets.
そうだな。
That's why I use your book as a diary. I write down in it the memories I want to retain and not lose hold of. I'm just weird like that. If I write something down in there, I'll never forget it, even if I don't look at it.
その通り。
He nods with satisfaction. Is the test done?
はあ。まず前半の試験はここまでだ。後半はまた今度。
What grade did I get? D.
合格点に近いよ。
That's what I'm saying. It's a D. Not even a C. Resting her back onto against my stomach, she smiles broadly. Then she looks up at me.
ユーマは優秀だ。
So cute. Thanks for the compliment, I guess. She swings her legs back and forth, back and forth. My honest thought is that it's a rather childish thing for her to be doing. But if I told her that, yeah, she would definitely get mad.
遅くまで付き合わせて悪かったな、ユーマ。今日は疲れたんだろう。ゆっくり眠れ。
Will do.
おやすみ、ユーマ。
Gradually, her body becomes more and more transparent.
明日もユーマにとって素晴らしい日になることを祈ってるよ。
The weight resting on my lap then completely disappears. Stare blankly at the non-empty space she once occupied, the now empty space she once occupied. I don't know why, but I feel the sudden pang of loneliness in my chest. Good night, Shinku. Once I close my eyes, I enter the white world of my dream. The world where feathers fall from the sky. Thank God I didn't need to read out what the other person says again. Chapter 3. The wind from the beyond which took you from me. La Sombra del Viento. Or something like that. I don't speak Spanish. God, it's hot. The blistering hot sun is baking my skin. My body feels sluggish and weary. The asphalt appears to be taking a beating too. I think it's about to melt. Why do I have to do this?
口ばっかり言っても涼しくなんてならないぞ。むしろますます暑くなるだけだ。
I know, Shinku. You don't have to tell me that. I can't help my attitude. After all, today is Sunday. I didn't mention it before, but I guess I can say it now. I realized this game came out a while ago, right? Like the original of this game. Like the HD came out like last week. But this came out fairly a while ago, right? Which means that this probably came out by around the time where Japan had six school day weeks, didn't it? The Persona 3 is the only other game that the only other game where I know have 6 days of schooling with only one weekend, and it's weird to think that Japan used to do that. They don't do that now, I think. Last time I remembered. If I remember correctly, I mean. I couldn't ultimately bring myself to say no to Shigure-san's request, so I'm currently about to go shopping with Kana. You'd think she'd be able to go shopping by herself. I wouldn't though, because she's supposed to be blind. These are my honest thoughts, but Shinku's right. Moaning and groaning won't change anything. If I don't want to be in this situation, then my only option is to suck it up and get it over with as quickly as possible. Alright, Kana.
Hi.
Walking behind me, she raises her head and responds as I call her name.
何でしょうか?
Could you read our shopping list from top to bottom one more time, please?
おお、はい、わかりました。なんだったかな。
She reaches into the bag hanging from her arm, then takes out a single piece of notepad paper and unfolds it.
今日のお買い物の予定は の意識の注文です。あとそれから
She's staring intently at the paper with a frown on her face. And there's more?
はい、それからメガネ屋さんにも行かなくちゃいけません。
Yeah, I don't know, maybe that should be one of the first things you do. Ah, right. I hope you find a pair of glasses you like.
はい、ありがとうございます。だけど私としてはメガネとしての機能がしっかりと備わっているものだったらどんなものでも構わないんです。
Any old pair?
はい、どんなものでもです。
Well, you know, it has to fit your prescription. You know. Oh, well, the lenses, I guess. The frame, I guess you'll take anything. Oh. So you'd be fine with a pair of Coke bottle glasses? Bro. I was trying to be a little cheeky, but she remains unfazed.
はい、もちろんです。構いませんよ。
Okay, well... She wears a bright smile.
メガネだなんて高価なものを買っていただけるなんて、それだけで私は感激なんです。
She nods deeply, indicating just that. She's too pure, man. You can't tease her. Oh, okay. Oh, and airhead. So you'd really take anything? I figured she'd get mad at me at my little provocation, saying she wanted something stylish, or at the very least something normal. Ruins all the fun. But I guess if she's happy, then I haven't any real reason to complain. Come to think of it, your old glasses were exactly like that. Huge, thick lenses. Kind of reminds you of the bottom of a glass bottle. Hang on, huge, thick lenses? That... Listen, by the looks of it, she's been fine without her glasses. If they were thick lenses, well, it depends on how thick, but she shouldn't be able to function without them if that was the case.
はい、私としては新しいものを買っていただかなくても以前のものをちょちょいっと直してもらうだけでも十分なんですが。
Actually, I feel like that would be a lot more expensive. You really treasure your belongings, huh? That's a good thing, in my honest opinion. But, you really not have a single care in the world about the appearance? I don't think anyone would blame you for being a bit more picky.
そうですか？あのメガネ可愛いと思いますけど。
Seriously? Well, I mean, to be fair, she probably doesn't know what they really look like.
はい、とっても。
Well, good for you, I guess.
私、古いものが好きなんです。どちらかというと。
Fair enough. Well, they're her glasses. If she's fine with it, then so be it. Alright. Then let's start with the eye store. Is that good with you?
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Wow, she's finally gonna be able to see. We're in and out of the eye store in several minutes. What? So you don't want to try and get your old pair fixed? Bag in hand, we exit through the automatic sliding door as the clerk smiles behind us and wishes us a goodbye. I don't know the story behind them or anything, but you obviously care about them a lot.
はい、いいんです。あのメガネを直すにはレンズを丸々交換しなければいけないと店員さんにそう言われましたし。
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it'd be more expensive to fix them.
そこまでしたらもう別物になってしまうような気がしますから。
Would they?
はい、だからもういいんです。メ ガネを卒業するにはちょうどいい頃合いだったんだと思います。
What? To clarify, Kana didn't have her old glasses repaired, nor did she buy a new pair. Instead, she took the clerk's advice and settled on a pair of contacts. Oh, right. Why would you do that? Contacts don't sound good. I've never found the appeal of contacts. Therefore, she won't be wearing glasses anymore.
それに私コンタクトって少し憧れていたんですよ。
Listen, I know it's just an excuse from the writers to not change up her design so that they don't need to draw glasses for her, but really, contacts? You could have just not given her poor eyesight. It's never played a role in anything except sympathizing with her. With a jolly smile, she carefully stows her old glasses case away in her bag.
なんだかちょっと大人になれたような気分です。
Really? That seems a bit silly.
大げさだなんてそんなことはありません。とてもいいお買い物ができました。
Yeah, so now you can actually see. Great to hear. So how does it feel wearing contacts? I know you said they make you feel more adult-like or whatever, but how's your vision? Any clearer? No, I didn't get the right prescription.
Hi!
She's smiling from ear to ear.
バッチリです。問題ありません。
Nice. You're satisfied with them?
はい。ユーマさんの顔も今ではしっかりはっきり見えています。
Well, like, you can see his face. Now, good for you. Seeing her this overjoyed because of something so trivial fills me with that much joy. I'm even compelled to admit that I'm glad I came out here with her today.
でもメガネもなしに視界が利くというのはなんだかとても不思議な感じがします。
Oh, does it?
はい。メガネをかけることにすっかり慣れていましたから。
That makes sense then. I've always had pretty good eyesight, so I've never experienced what it's like wearing glasses. True. Same. So, what's next on the list? We better not waste too much time, otherwise we won't get to all the stores we need to.
あ、はい。ですね。次は制服を見に行ってもいいでしょうか。
Sure. Sounds like a plan. My memory serves me. There's a pretty nice clothing store somewhere around here. Over the next few hours, we went from store to store buying all the necessary things for Kana.
ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんですが、いいですか、
Nah.
ユーマさん。
No. After checking off all the items on our shopping list, we decided to take a bit of a break at the park located near the shopping district. For a bit of a recap, following the uniform, we took care of the more miscellaneous items like notebooks, stationery, and whatnot. Then lastly, she shopped for her non-uniform clothing, so leisure wear, pajamas, underwear, and the like. One set of each. Needless to say, I was entirely uninvolved in the selection of her undergarments. You didn't need to point that out. I think we would know. I think we would assume. Sure, what is it?
はい。確認したいことがあるんです、私。
Fine by me. So what is it? Something serious?
いえ、それはですね。
He fidgets around uncomfortably. It must be something hard to say.
なんて言ったらいいんでしょうか。難しいですね、これは。
Sorry. 1 second. Can I ask you a question first?
おはい、どうぞどうぞ。
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but you did buy casual clothes earlier, right?
はい。ええ、そうですね。買わせていただきました。私にはもったいないくらいの可愛い服を。
Right. So is there any particular reason why you're still walking around in that maid outfit?
と言いますと？
You just bought you a normal outfit, so you shouldn't have to have a need to wear the maid outfit anymore. Like, do you not feel restricted in that?
別に窮屈だなんてことはないですが。
Glances down at her chest region. Not physically. I meant more in the mental sense. You've been wearing that because you had nothing else to wear, right? Temporarily, basically, and it's... temporarily, basically. What? And it served its purpose now that you have other clothes to wear.
それは確かにそうですけど、でも私この服気に入っていますので。
Have you now?
はい、それはもう一日中着ていても全く苦じゃないくらいです。
Okay. I scratch my head, clueless as to what I'm supposed to say to her. That. I know, I just figured maybe you'd want to change into your new outfit at the store and wear it around, you know?
そうですね。
He holds up the cuff of the skirt part of her outfit to a tiny bit and starts to rub her fingers across the fabric.
ですが私はもう少しこのままの格好でいたいかなってそう思います。せっかく買わせていただいたお洋服ですけれど、やっぱり私今のこのメイド服が好きなんだと思います。
You really love that thing, huh?
はい。だからおいそれと脱いでしまうのがもったいないというか、ここで私服に変わるともうメイド服に袖を通す機会がなくなってしまうようなそんな感じがするんです。
I'm not really sure I follow, but I guess if you'd like it that much, no harm in wearing it.
はい、ありがとうございます。
He grins with a slight hint of bashfulness, then says,
それにこの服は使用人としての清掃、ユニフォームですから、そう簡単に脱いでしまうわけにはいきませんよね。
Oh. Your work uniform?
はい。ましてや旦那様とご一緒させていただくときはなおさらです。
How many times do I need to hammer this into your brain? Stop with the darling stuff, please. No, master, and no, master is off limits too.
そうですね。
He gives a firm nod.
まだ席を入れていませんものね。
True. That's not what I was trying to say at all.
でも大丈夫です。婚姻届ならここに。
What? Okay, why are you carrying that on you? Wait a second. Please tell me I'm imagining this.
何がですか？
You really need to ask? There's a name written on the signature line for my name.
そうですね。筆跡もバッチリ見せてありますよね。
Don't be proud of that. Is it a joke? Her boastful admission renders me completely and utterly speechless.
あとはここにユーマさんが捺印してくだされば準備は万端整う感じです。私って気が利いてますよね。
No. No, not at all. How did you even, like, get that? Where'd you learn what my handwriting looked like in the first place?
はい、それはその
Of course.
夏目さんが
Of course it was Suzu. Yeah, go figure. Why'd I even ask? She still hasn't learned her lesson, has she? I guess the piping hot curry wasn't enough. Yeah, but that was your revenge. That was her revenge. And I tell you not to go along with her nonsense. I swear I've told you this how many times now?
はい、ですから今回は2人で一緒に計画しました。
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know. I knew it. She went to Suzu, not the other way around. The what?
だから夏目さんがではなくて夏目さんとっていう方が正しいですね。ごめんなさい、言い間違えてしまいました。
Yeah. Alright. I see the full picture now. I'm done with everything. Girl is too hopelessly lacking in the common sense department. In second thought, though, I feel like that doesn't even begin to describe just how mind-boggling her actions are. But whatever. Come to expect that from her by this point. I get you. But why Suzu-san? What does she even stand to gain from pulling childish pranks like this all the time?
単純に暇なんだろう。
So to tell them, I'm basically just a toy that excites for the sole purpose of providing, that exists for the sole purpose of providing them excitement. Great.
そんなことありません。遊びなんてとんでもないです。
There is no smile on her face.
私はいつでも真剣なんです。遊んでなんかいませんよ。
Are you now? I press my finger against my eyelids. Eyeballs. I'm done with everything. Just do your worst. I don't even care anymore.
それってまさか。
Her cheeks blossom like a rose, and looking up at me through her eyelashes, she says,
これから2人で市役所にってことですか。
We've brought everything we needed, so I'm ready to head back to the dorm if you are.
でも市役所は夕方には閉まっちゃうっていうか。
Also, remember to thank Shigure-san when we get back. Alright? He's the one who paid for all of this.
無視は嫌です。悲しいです。
She droops her shoulders and frowns.
もちろん管理人さんにお礼はしますけど。
Good. It's important to show gratitude.
でもどうして。
Why what?
はい、管理人さんはどうして私にこんなによくしてくださるんでしょうか。
That's just the sort of person he is. He's kind and obligated and obliging by nature.
個性？
Yep. I nod. If he sees someone in need, he feels obligated to help, even if that person is a total stranger with some pretty shady circumstances. That's just who he is. He'll probably deny it, but at the very least, there's an impression on him. That's my impression of him. A wonderful, kind-hearted person. But yeah, don't worry about inconveniencing him. Just make sure to say thank you, and you'll be fine.
そうですか。
Well, that kind of dragged on for a bit. You wanted to ask me something, right? What is it? Kana? Sensing something behind her silence, I gaze into her eyes. What's the matter? She's staring intently at something. Follow her gaze and find a mother and child playing in the park sandbox. He watches them quietly with a forlorn expression. I decide to wait for her to speak.
ユーマさん。
Yeah?
私の質問聞いてくれますか？
Of course.
ずっと気になっていたことです。質問します。
Mm-hmm.
ユーマさん、あなたは魔法使いで、そして逃がし屋さんなんですよね。
Yeah, I am. I do wish you'd stop calling me a sorcerer, though. I'm still an apprenticeship. But you're right. I do work as a liberator.
それではユーマさん、もしも私が
Before continuing, she pauses for a moment. After mentally readying herself, she raises her head and meets my gaze again.
私がもしもユーマさんに助けてくださいとお願いしたら、
Huh?
私を逃がしてください、私を自由にしてくださいと願ったら、そうすればユーマさんは私を助けてくれますか？
Listen. It's not my fault you talk so
私はユー
slow.
マさんのお仕事にとても興味が、私を逃がしてください、私を自由にしてくださいと願ったら、そうすればユーマさんは私を助けてくれますか？
...
私はユーマさんのお仕事にとても興味があります。
There you go. Our gazes meet, settled thereupon. What? Before silence finally ensues. I attempt to squeeze out a question in order to rid the air of this tense, oppressive silence. By that, are you making... Right as I was about to speak the words, a formal request. Feel my phone begin to vibrate inside my pants pocket.
ユーマさん、お電話鳴っていますけど。
Ah, right. Sorry, it kinda interrupted our conversation. Mind if I excuse myself for a second to take this?
はい、どうぞ。
Thanks. I take it out of my pocket. Suzusan's name is displayed on the screen. That might not be good. Clarify, this is a work phone. So the fact that she's calling me could potentially mean some kind of emergency sprung up. I hit accept.
今どこにいる？
I hear her voice clearly. My call is now over. I guess it's time. Anna. I stuffed my phone back inside my pocket. You said you wanted to know what our job as liberators entails?
はい、
Your lucky day. An opportunity's arisen for you to see firsthand what we do. I'll answer your question after that.